name is Ronke, and I'm gonna be making videos on travel and such. So this video is kind of like a day in Dubai. So I actually recently just came back from Dubai, and before y'all start looking at me like, how is this supposed to be relatable? It's called a layover. It's called an extended layover, in fact. So this past year, I went to Nigeria, and the way that I kind of did my trip, because I knew that I had a layover in Dubai on the way back, and the layover in Dubai, if I didn't extend it already, was going to be about 21 hours. And that's just because that's like the best timing for the flight. So, you know, I knew that I wanted to extend it and have a little bit more holiday before I come back to work. So my friends and I, we decided that we're going to extend the time. But when I went in 2017, when I went in 2017, it was literally just for the 21 hours. And, you know, I think people were surprised because I went out and I did stuff. Like, I don't understand how you're going to have more than like a 4-hour layover and you're going to, stay in the airport that you actually can leave, if you can leave. Or you like leave just to sleep. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. So let me just give y'all some quick tips real quick. If you're ever flying Emirates and you have a layover that's more than, I believe the rules is more than 6 hours and less than 24 hours, and it's actually like the best that you can get, you can call Emirates and they will provide you with a hotel room if your stayover is in, you know, the UAE. And so that's what I did. I called them. I was able to get myself a room. And so my flight from Nigeria, because it was a flight really from Nigeria back to the US. So my flight landed at 5 a.m. Dubai time. And then my next flight to the US was supposed to leave at 2 a.m. Dubai time. So I literally had the entire day to do stuff. So left the airport, got to the hotel maybe about 6 a.m. And I think my plan was like to try to sleep, blah, blah, blah. But when you're jumping multiple time zones, it's a little rough to just sleep on demand. So I'm gonna give you guys like an idea of all the stops that I went to. I think everything was fairly affordable. I would definitely say you probably want to budget at least $100 US equivalent to spend. But it's all doable. Now, I'm one of those people where I'm decently good with the map and I'm pretty okay with public transportation. If you've never used public transportation before, you do not have Google Maps or like something that's actually working then and there. It's one thing to have Google Maps, it's another thing to have it either offline or, you know, what's the word? Active. And if you do not have good sense of direction, I wouldn't really suggest that you do this because you will easily get lost. I took a metro ride from the hotel I was staying at to the central station in Dubai. Then, when I got to the central station in Dubai, I then took a bus from that station to the central station in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is the equivalent of like, let's say a Maryland and a Virginia, for those of you who know it well. It's about, I think it was maybe an hour and a half bus ride or something. And so then once I then got to the station in Abu Dhabi, I then took a more local bus route from the Abu Dhabi bus station to my first stop. The first thing I did was I went to the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. Now, there are other mosques and other like, I guess, popular mosques that I could have gone to in Dubai, but for me, I was like, this is the one I see in the pictures and I actually wanted to experience it firsthand. So I made that mission. And just another tip for like when you're planning to do stuff like this on a layover, if there's anything that you want to do that's not actually in the city where you are, I would suggest starting out with this because you don't want to find yourself in a position where your flight is at 7, you're going to Abu Dhabi, and then for whatever reason, maybe you miss a bus or you actually didn't understand the bus time well, all of a sudden you're still in Abu Dhabi at 6:30 p.m. because you're not gonna catch that flight. So, like I said, start your day with that type of thing. So I went to Abu Dhabi first, and then I went to the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. I think about 2 hours. 2 hours is a good amount of time to spend there. It's a pretty large mosque. It's very, very large. You can go outside, go inside, take pictures. You know, there's a lot. It's a pretty big mosque. And that's if you're just visiting. If you're actually going there to worship, it might take you a little bit longer. But, you know, I was just visiting. So I think about 2 hours is enough time to actually spend there. Now, when I was leaving, because I didn't really, once again, sense of direction and actually understanding public transportation, I didn't necessarily have a good understanding of how the buses leaving from the mosque were gonna go back to the station, because the stop that I got off at wasn't right in front of the mosque either. It was like a little bit away. I could see the mosque, so I knew I was going the right direction. So I got off eventually, but I didn't really know, like, okay, is this the best bus to catch on the way back, or is this like, this is really the scenic route, like you about to take a long time to get back? And time was of the essence. So instead I just took a taxi. There are a lot of them at the mosque. I took a taxi from the mosque back to the bus station, and then I went back to Dubai, because mind you, that was really kind of the only thing I came to Abu Dhabi to do. There's more things to do in Abu Dhabi, and I'll share them in my actual Dubai video. If it's not already up, it's probably gonna be up soon. But you know, that was just what I came to Abu Dhabi to do for that one day. So afterwards, I went back to the bus station, and then I caught my bus back to Dubai, and then I took I think I got off at a not a random station, but it wasn't the same station I got on at. And then what I ended up doing is, I think I then went to the mall. I went to the mall because Shawty was hungry and I needed Wi-Fi. Like, I didn't have any cell service. So I went to the mall, got some food, and I did a little bit of sightseeing at the mall, I guess you could say. But then part of the reason why I also went to the mall is because I knew that the Burj Khalifa was there, and I also wanted to see the Dubai water show or fountain show, whatever they call it. So the water show happens every 30 minutes. So if you time yourself right, you can catch it. And then also the water, so the mall, if the mall is like right here, the water show is like just a little bit in front of it, a couple of meters like behind it, in front of it, however you want to describe it. But then to the side of it is also the Burj Khalifa. So those are 3 activities that you can literally pair together. If you are going to be in Dubai and you're going to that mall, you need to get yourself outside to go see the water show and make sure you see the Burj Khalifa. You have one option, which is going up to the 24th, 25th floor. The other option is like the 40-something floor. Of course, there's a price difference. Told me the price. I said, hey, gods, this is money that has to be spent. Am I going to spend it on an experience of a lifetime? Am I going to keep it and just pretend I saw it? Because the so basically the option for the 24 to 25 had sold out, and it wasn't like it sold out for that time slot, because I think they do every 15 minutes. It had sold out the entire night. So if I didn't see it that day, I wasn't gonna, like, if I didn't pay for the 40th option, I wasn't gonna see it. So I really was there thinking like, fam, am I about to like put forth, because I don't remember how much it was, but I feel like it was probably at least somewhere between $50 to $75 equivalent. And I was just like, dang, am I really about to pay this much? But once again, I'm all about experiences, especially because in my mind I was like, I really don't know the next time I'm coming to Dubai. I went and I went up, and I mean, it was nice. They had some hors d'oeuvres, blah blah blah, juice, dessert. It wasn't worth the money, but you know, I sure went up. And it was really a nice experience, because I'm big on like nighttime and the nice views and the lights and all of that. So I think it was maybe around like 9 or so by the time I did that. Mind you, my flight is at 2 a.m. So I still had a little bit of wiggle time, but I didn't want to play myself. Your girl got on the metro and then took the metro back to my hotel. And you know, I'm just gonna tell you, if you're ever in another country, even if you're in your own country, wherever you are, if you're in an area that you're not very, very familiar with and you're by yourself, like, just be aware of your surroundings. So, you know, I made sure I didn't have headphones in, but I walked back to the hotel, got back to the hotel safely, you know, kind of packed, just chilled, used the Wi-Fi a little bit, and then I left. But all in all, it was a good trip. And I think, especially because like I kind of planned everything on the fly. Like, I mean, I planned it that morning, but it was really, really on the fly. Like, it wasn't stuff that I sat down like 2 weeks, 3 weeks ahead and been like, okay, this is exactly what I'm gonna do. And I think that if you are the type of person that you want to plan things on the fly, hopefully something in this video has encouraged you to check out some of these places. Otherwise, I would definitely say you want to sit down and you want to plan. And you know, always, I think you always want to put in like at least an hour of buffer space, especially if you're gonna be using public transportation, between everything you're gonna be doing, because I mean, public transportation is not always your friend. Even if everything is running all well, if you yourself misread something, misunderstand something, mistime something, it can throw things off. So I would say give yourself about an hour of buffer space. But yeah, so I think if I were to do it again, ooh, shaking my camera up. If I were to do it again, I definitely would still go to the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. It's simply amazing. It's just like, to think that human beings actually put that together is crazy. So I would still do that. I still, of course, would go to the water show. I think maybe one thing I would have tried to add in is maybe the gold souk. But the only issue is that I don't know how transportation works around the gold souk, unless you don't mind taking a taxi there. But yeah, the gold souk. But all in all, if you have 24 hours, 21 hours, 18 hours in Dubai, I would say make the most of it, because you don't know the next time you'll be back there. If you have, you know, even if you have just a couple of hours in Dubai, I would definitely say try your best to make the most of it. Oh, and tip, if you're leaving the airport, you should ask them. I don't know if they necessarily do it for everyone, but they did it for me. And when you're leaving the airport, you should ask them if they can register you for Smart Gate. So Smart Gate is basically like the equivalent of like a TSA. So when you're leaving the airport in Dubai, you should ask them if they can register you for Smart Gate. I would say it's maybe the equivalent of like a TSA pre-check. So the idea behind it is you stand at the machine, they take a picture of you, they look at your eyeballs kind of thing. And then when you're leaving the airport, or when you're coming into the airport, whenever you have to go through the security checkpoints, you can use your passport to scan. And you don't have to be like a Emirati or like from the UAE to do it. So I hope you all have learned a thing or two, or at least have gotten some wanderlust in you to want to actually go and experience Dubai. This is not a paid promotion for Dubai, because they do not pay me to enter their country. If they pay me to enter, maybe I'll come back and give you people more ginger to go. But nonetheless, I would definitely suggest that you get out there and try new things. And even if you're not necessarily going to Dubai, but you're going to another country and you're going to have an extended layover, think about these things, about how to make the best use of that time if you can actually leave the airport. Once again, if you cannot leave the airport, I'm not sending you any mission, no, because I will not come to collect you from anywhere. So, you know, plan wisely. But this has been real. Okay, bye.